Hi there and welcome to this thought leadership video where I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to interview the Executive Chairman of the Egyptian Stock Exchange, Mr. Rami El-Dokany. And in this video we find out about the background, the history, the culture, the heritage of this fantastic exchange, and we also find out what makes it the oldest, not just in the country, not just in the region, but also the continent of Africa. Mr. Rami, thank you so much for joining me.
Welcome, thank you very much for having me.
Good to see you, and an amazing setting, an amazing scenery in this boardroom.
Thank you, that's the best thing of the job.
Yeah, exactly,
office, yep.
Good stuff. So let's get stuck in. So before we talk about the history, the heritage of the Egyptian Stock Exchange, you've recently been appointed Executive Chairman. So it's been what, four months or so? Tell me, how's it been? What's the ethos been like so far?
It's a life changer. Yeah, I've been in the industry all my life, but heading EGX has been always a new game. It's a new ball game for everything. It changes your lifestyle, your commitments, and your workout routine, your sleeping hours. It changes everything. It changes everything. But definitely, it's a fantastic challenge that I'm up to it, and I want to take it forward to see how it's going to drive me.
What is the work-life balance like? You say the work-life routine. So I mean, heavy hours, or I mean, weekends. Tell me about the work-life balance.
I wake up at 5 in the morning to work out, come back to my shower, have a breakfast, then head to the office. I'm here usually at 9, and then I start heading my entire work hours. I have no clue when will I go home again, so it depends on what time I actually head back.
Yeah.
On weekends, I try to spend time with my family, and I have a 7 years old. I try to manage my time with him all the time and take him out and do all the things that we need to do together.
Yeah.
Have some pleasure time for myself as well. It's key.
That's good. Yeah. I'm sure obviously it's a very high, it's a stressful job, lots of responsibility during the week, the working week, but the weekends, having a 7-year-old is also very stressful in a different way,
It's very stressful. So I try to get 2 hours for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's most important. So let's talk about the history, the heritage, the culture of the Egyptian Stock Exchange. Not only are you the oldest in the country, not only are you the oldest in the region, you're the oldest in the continent. So tell me, let's go back all the way to the foundings and how it all started and where you are today.
The Egyptian Exchange is actually a merger between the Alexandria Exchange and the Cairo Exchange. The Alexandria Exchange started in 1883, and the Cairo Exchange started in 1903. I think we're maybe the second or third exchange in the world that actually traded commodities back in the day. The Egyptian cotton was had an actual bourse here, and it was a very active exchange. So when you visit our downtown office, you're going to get some chill. I usually get some chills when I go there. It's quite old, it's quite unique. The architect is small, it's tiny, but everyone who visits from the region knows this building quite well, and everyone worked there and they came for meetings. This building and this institution had presented knowledge to the entire region. And a lot of countries took their listing rules from EGX, and they started with employees from EGX. So it gives them the pleasure to come back every time to EGX.
Great, interesting. Yeah. You're setting records, and I found out that yesterday 105,000 transactions in one day. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Could we be expecting more of these records moving forward?
I hope so. We have crossed many peaks in the last few weeks, actually. We're now in a market cap that is the highest in the last 10 years, for example. The record of the number of transactions yesterday was never happened before in terms of EGX. And we're seeing liquidity increasing every day, every single day. We're crossing 3 billion Egyptian pounds every day in daily liquidity. So we're seeing a lot of peaks actually happening in the period. And I think EGX reflects a good optimism about Egypt and its economy and where it's heading. So I think that, yes, we can see more peaks in the future.
Okay, great. Peaks, and even more peaks with more new listings, right? So obviously it's been a very eventful year, 2022. Yeah. Give me a bit of a flavour of 2023 in terms of IPOs, what you're expecting.
We're expecting better years for IPOs in 23. We had a fantastic year in 21. We had the largest IPO in the history of EGX with the e-finance listing. And for my own analysis, when you see e-finance happening, the market was already on the downtrend, and the EGX index was around 11,200 points. Today we're by far 15,300 points. So I think definitely we're going to see a lot of IPOs, a lot of optimism from private sector coming online to start raising more capital from the exchange itself. Definitely, I would say that we're going to see at least 2 or 3 new numbers in the coming 6 months. We've already listed 2 container handling terminals in Q4 this year, so we expect them to come online actually in Q1, end of Q1 or Q2 of next year.
Okay, interesting. Let's go back then to 1998, where the EGX first launched a website. So back then, that would have been classed as digital, right? That would have been quite revolutionary. We're living in a digital world.
True.
Digitisation is a bit of a buzzword, but what are you offering your customers? What are you doing as an exchange moving forward, keeping up with this digital era that we're living in?
We have a full agenda to revamp the entire technology here in EGX. Actually, we were going to start next year an innovation hub on the ground floor of EGX. We want to start hosting startups and developers to come and do things for themselves and for EGX, for the entire industry. We're going to bring in brokerage companies to see how they can tie up with a lot of solutions of EGX. So we're going to create a secured environment for everyone to come and develop and try to create actual solutions that's going to benefit the entire market and the entire industry. It is key for us to look into that. We're doing a lot of things and research in artificial intelligence, and we're doing partnerships with a lot of colleges in that regard as well. So we want to take EGX forward. We're trying to understand a lot of the processes that our customers, basically brokers, are facing to connect with EGX in terms of coding, creating new codes for investors, for example. We're trying to automate that. We're trying to facilitate a lot of things that is going to reduce their OPEX and the cost structure. So we're trying to help them out with all automations needed for that.
Okay, interesting. Tell me a little bit more about the Innovation Lab there. Does that mean that anyone can join? Is it by invitation, or how does that work?
We're going to create a certain theme for it, where we're going to ask certain startups and developers to come and develop certain solutions in certain areas. And then we're going to open up the applications, then we're going to interview these developers and startups, and we'll allow them access to the Innovation Hub. They're going to be a set. We're talking with an interesting VC boutique here in Cairo to come to run it for us. So there will be a lot of trainings and curriculum in that as well that is going to help startups to grow. And possibly we could look into investing into these startups if they offer interesting solutions as well.
Wow, interesting. I'm back again next month, so we're going to cover some other exciting products and indices that you'll be launching in next month's video. But last question, a bit of a cliche one, a classic one. What keeps you up at night?
What keeps me open at night? Yeah. A lot of Panadol nights, I think. No, I'm very excited every night to go to bed and wake up again, work out, and come to this place to deliver. I think it's a place that actually needs proper delivery, and a lot of action is happening, and we have to be as responsible as we can for this country and for this economy at this critical time. Excellent. Mr. Rami, a pleasure to see you. Always insightful, always very informative, and see you next month. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Thank you.